Hey guys, so I'm finally going to do my religion video. I know I've been promising for a long time that I would do this and people have been asking me, where's the video? Here it is, yay! I've been avoiding this topic like the plague because recently I've been having unpleasant conversations, if you will, in my personal life about religion, so I just really haven't felt up to talking about it, but I promised I would, so I'm going to do this. And I think the main question that I'm getting from everyone is, what are your beliefs? Where do you stand? Because in a lot of my videos, I've talked about Christians and atheists, but then in my most recent video, I talked about why I didn't like certain aspects of Christianity, and I was pretty hard on it. So I think that I'm confusing a lot of people as to where I personally stand, and it's a really long story, so I'm going to try to condense it as much as I can to make the video short, without giving you my entire life story, but I have to kind of explain some things for it to make any sense. I was raised Catholic. My parents, I'll show this picture, I'm not sure if you can see it, I'll show it closer, but my parents got divorced when I was 4 years old, and I was raised in a Catholic school, so it's customary for parents whenever they get married in the Catholic Church, if they're going to get a divorce, they have to get an annulment. Legally they can be divorced, but within the church it's acceptable to only, you have to get an annulment too. So I had a lot of teachers and the priests and just people all over the school like breathing down my neck telling me, your mom hasn't gotten an annulment and she's still getting communion and that's a sin. And your mom is, she needs to take care of that or else she might go to hell. So not only am I like this little 4-year-old kid trying to deal with her parents getting divorced, I'm also having to deal with these crazy asshole teachers and priests and nuns and whatever telling me that your mom is going to hell. So here's a picture of me. I graduated my kindergarten class. I was very proud this day, but I'll show that picture up close too. So that's about how old I was when all that was going down. So yeah, like I said, they got divorced whenever I was 4. I was raised by my mom. Here's a picture of me with my mom. Yay! And then a picture of me later on in high school with my grandma. She hasn't really changed much, so that's how she looks pretty much today still. So I was raised pretty much by the two of them. My grandma was born in Rome, so she was raised a Roman Catholic, and that's just kind of how I was raised. It's traditional, and that's exactly how I would describe it too, traditional. It wasn't like a serious, like, deep spiritual connection that most people would, get, a lot of people get. It was more of like traditions and ceremonies and like acting out the role of being a Catholic. Do you know what I mean? Like, we would go to church and we would do different like events and stuff, but when we were at home, it was never really discussed. It wasn't something that was like deeply ingrained into my soul. So it's not like I had that strong of a Christian upbringing. I mean, of course I went to Catholic school from kindergarten through high school. Here's a picture of me in high school with my wonderful uniform. Sexy, right? But yeah, so I had to go to Catholic class every single day of my life from kindergarten to a senior in high school, so I had that aspect of it, but as far as like a personal connection at home, that was pretty much non-existent. And then in high school, I had a lot of fights with religion teachers then, like, kids who don't get baptized are going to purgatory, and I was like, okay. I actually almost got in a lot of trouble one time because I got in a fight with my teacher about that. I was like, so if a kid gets like hit by a bus and they're like, I don't know, 7, and their parents are atheists and they have been baptized and they don't believe in anything, I'm sorry, but that unfortunately that child is going to go to purgatory. I was like, okay, you guys are crazy. So anyways, that was kind of my breaking with the Catholic Church. I know this is all very depressing. You guys wanted to hear my story, so this is my story. It's not the happiest story, but there are some happy parts. See, look, I'll include one happy picture. This is me, happy me. I'm like 8 here, I think, about 8 years old, with my cat and dog. See, I've always loved animals, and now I'm a crazy cat lady. But just kidding. Anyways, so that was me up until high school, and then I decided once I went to college that I was done with the Catholic Church, really frustrated with it, terrible experiences with it, didn't want to have anything to do with it anymore. So I kind of went the more Protestant route just because it was still Christian, it was kind of what I was used to. My dad's side of the family is all Protestant, so I kind of identified with that. As I got older, I got a lot closer with my dad, so I kind of went that route a little bit, and I got married in a Protestant church, and everything was all fine and dandy until I actually started to read the Bible, which, as silly as it sounds, when you're in Catholic school, you really don't read the Bible. You read the Catechism of the Catholic Church. So I went through all of that schooling, like I said, kindergarten to senior year in high school, and hadn't really read any of the Bible. Like, none. Like, certain passages, like certain stories. But we really didn't get into anything. We read the Catechism. That was it. So I started reading the Bible, and I saw like all these contradictory quotes, and no one could give me any answers. And the only answers I could get from people were hypocritical ones, like, oh, that's, that's just, you have to take that as like a symbolism, but certain other things like, homosexuality is an abomination. That's not symbolism, that's like hardcore fact. But the whole two cloths type thing, and then working on the Sabbath, and marrying your husband's brother if he dies, that's just a symbolism thing. So I got really frustrated with the hypocrisy with that, and honestly, I've always had problems with this kind of thing, but I just got to the point in my videos where I was getting so many comments from people saying, you do not act like or align with the beliefs of a traditional Christian. And, I thought about it, and, like, I'm not one of those people who have, like, a serious ego problem, that I have to always be right, that I can't ever admit when I'm wrong. If I hear somebody present a better argument than I can, I'm not going to just be stubborn and stick to what I previously thought because I don't want to be wrong. So I do listen to what you guys say, and I take it seriously if it's nice, if it's like a respectful comment. And a lot of people said that I just don't really align with the traditional sense of being a Christian, and that it's more like an agnostic, or even as far as like an agnostic theist, which that's, true. I looked into it, and it's absolutely true. And I don't want to be, like I said, one of those people who are picky and choosy, so that's kind of how I'm going to identify myself from now on, agnostic, because it really does fit me a lot better. It makes me feel more comfortable.